what you're getting. No promises.
Did you do this?
I think so.
Or that?
Not sure.
Not sure. Just say sorry, UK.
But don't use that photo if it's rude. I didn't know.
The back, hello.
Hello.
And Instagram.
What?
Fantastic. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to our Rare Finds sale. We're doing...
What is Rare Finds, for those of us who don't know?
We're doing a rare 11 a.m. Eastern time live stream, and then we're also doing one this afternoon at 4 o'clock to talk about what...
Is it 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock? Time check, 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock.
Don't be lying to people.
I can... Yes. It was my mistake. I did not need to lie. I'm so sorry. Good morning, Willow.
Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
We were all excited about starting, and Dan came in early this morning to get everything ready and make sure that the
Thank you, Dan.
gift cards were sent out and everything in time. And here we are. We're already 2 drops into our Rare Finds.
Spring 2025 Rare Finds. So Rare Finds are comprised of 2 types of items.
Rare Finds and Oddities.
And Oddities. And a Rare Find is?
A Rare Find is usually a prototype or an off-color. Like this counts as a prototype, even though it's I guess it's more like a sample. Prototype meaning the first of its kind, or a thing where we tried something different that didn't end up getting into production. Or in this case, a sample where we make it in a colorway to see what that looks like in reality, so that we can sort of make judgments as to what, whether or not to produce that color or something like that. So
this is a really pretty one.
This one came out really good. We ended up going with Lunar Dust with the silver mane, just because it felt better. But this may come in. We may make this at some point, but right now this is the only one of its kind.
This is a color scheme we have plans to produce. So if you picked up this Kage, there will be some cool stuff that will match this Kage someday, long down the road.
Yes.
So and oddities.
So that's Rare Finds. What are oddities?
An oddity is something that has like a minute little hole in it, or maybe the button came off and was sewn on, but there's still some damage underneath the button, and there might be something there, or there's a little stain that we couldn't get out. Is this one?
This is an oddity only because for the photo shoot we sewed this Velcro on. So it's not technically how we sell this product usually.
It's not the like clean website ready version. I think that's a good upgrade, but y'all will have to be the judges of that.
It's just an example of like things that we can't have one product normally throughout the year. Can't have one product in a product page that's all by itself, and it's like it's only one size, or it just makes it really muddied, and it's hard to see and hard to find the person who wants that thing. So we compress it all into one day and say, this is all our weird stuff.
This is our weird, cool stuff that you can have, most of which at a really, really good price. So,
yeah, it's all right. It's not. It's
our trunk show.
It's a trunk show. It's just the stuff.
Get your wedding dress on. No.
So that's what we're doing, and that's.
It's always really fun because it is so different every time. I hope we can keep doing these. We're shifting our production model a little bit, so there may be less Rare Finds, but maybe not.
But there might be more Rare Finds.
Or might be different Rare Finds. So anyway, we've got a question.
Someone asked, Willow, is what you're wearing in the sale?
I don't think so.
No, she just pulled this out of my office. She was really trying to...
I was really trying to spoil something that I wasn't supposed to show.
To mess some stuff up.
Because it's just my dream in life to do that. But no, this is just the Secco vest.
Yeah, that's just a Secco vest.
There are Secco vests.
And it's
identical to this one in our warehouse.
And this one is not damaged. It was
Nothing wrong with it. It's just a
available.
photo sample that I grabbed.
We have some requests to see the Kage pants and the Victor vest prototype.
Okay.
We can go looking. No promises that we'll be able to find everything that you ask for, because they are multiple racks with multiple listings and such and such.
But we do have the Victor vest here.
Yes. The Victor vest prototype is in a darker wool. It's very pretty.
It's also much lighter weight than the production model.
Mike, your watch your mic.
I'm watching my mic. That's why I put it here in the center of my shirt.
Whoa, you were prepared.
I knew that I would be trying things on, so I set myself up. I will try not to for everyone, but
Would you like to do that again? Because I think that's probably...
no, I didn't touch it. I'll do my best.
I also wanted to say thank you for those of you who participated in our New Game Plus sale. It's been great
So far.
to get a kickoff. We are not done with it. We will be running it for the rest of May. It's not even May yet. We will be running it through May and potentially into June, depending on how our stock goes and what. Yeah, probably through June. But it's been really lovely to see our community like step up, and there are names I recognize or order numbers that are like 56 orders for blah blah. It's like, thank you so much for being along for the ride with us, for being part of our community. It's a huge gift to be able to do something so unique as what we do, and to have the opportunities that we have. Yeah, it's awesome. So thank you.
I can't
Rather
remember.
elegant.
I can't remember if there's anything
I don't
different
think
about
this is the one they were asking for. I think they were asking for the. There may be a few Victor Vest versions.
There is 2.
That's, I think, the prototype that went up this morning, and this is a different prototype that will go up later.
How is it different? Do you know?
The bottom is a little different, and the buttons are off to the side much more. These are almost centered, and these are mostly to the side.
Oh, is there 41 and a 39?
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
we do try things out before we launch products, and this is one
What
of the
is this?
trials.
And the collar on this goes all the way to the front, the seam?
It does, and this one is
That's a 39.
39, okay.
This one is a 41. So this one, it's going to be hard to see because it's black on black, but
It's
there is no separation between the collar and the shoulder sort of yoke piece, except for up here in the front. So there is this sort of seam layout is a little different. This, I think, was the first one, the 39.
Yeah.
And then the second one, some minor changes because I liked
It would
the
be really
idea.
cool to do a photo series of like the first prototype, the second prototype, the third prototype, and then the final.
We have a request for Willow to try on the Victor Vest.
Okay, this one. Happy to try it on. Except that my mic is on this thing, so
Yeah.
fuck that up.
I'm just going to make some noise.
Sorry.
Just going to have to go right there in the middle.
Ta-da.
Trade you.
Thanks.
Hey, look. It's a perfect size.
Oop, excuse me. Oh, belly. I am usually a 37, give or take. And this is that Victor Vest in a size 39. But obviously, I have some hips. Unlike David, who is relatively buttless.
I'm not sure that you're on screen in the Instagram, but
Who is relatively buttless.
you were heard, I'm sure.
Who is relatively buttless. Yeah, I think I would do it maybe one more
Maybe
button.
one or two, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Or maybe a third.
Nice. And someone else asked, anything fun in women's cut you can show off?
Well, I'm always happy to show off that one is worth showing, and then we have some Lothlorians that are the last. So this is a Mina Bolero prototype to match the marquee vest. We didn't produce it at the time of that marquee vest for production reasons that I've forgotten by now.
Stock.
Stock, I think it was stock and fabric. But it would match really beautifully, and that was sort of the original intention of it, and then we adjusted our fabric to be...
Has the Curvy Dorian gone up yet?
The Curvy Dorian is one of my favorites. Let's show the Curvy Dorian. I don't think it's gone up, but I think it will be cool.
Hey, look, it'll match your Victor vest.
Hey, look, it'll match my Victor vest.
The Curvy Dorian is sold.
All right.
Cool.
Good for you, lady out there. It's a good find. The pleats are what makes it
Yeah.
fun. I'm not going to button it too much because it's hot.
Yep.
And because I
To
don't
wear, you've
need
already
to
got it.
wear all the clothes. But there, that's the Curvy Dorian vest.
Coat.
Coat.
But
Really,
the back,
the
so
pleats are what makes
the
it.
main difference between this and the actual production model Curvy Dorian was this sort of pleated back skirt thing. And I made it, and I was trying that out. This is the first prototype, and everyone was like, "I really like that." But what I like about the Dorian is how straight cut it is, and so, and by everyone I mean Emily, Willow, and Leslie all said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Individually, because I showed it to them in separate rooms at separate times.
Yeah.
And they were all like, I like that, but no. If you're going to make a women's Dorian, make it that more or less exactly the same as the straight Dorian, but because it's very clean.
Yeah, it is very clean.
And this is very cool.
This is very pretty, and I would want it to be like almost floor length.
Right.
Like if
it's
we
a
did
different coat.
A drapey coat in the back, like it would be lovely to do either a high-low coat or a really long.
Should be longer in the back.
I would love
it could
that.
be. Yeah.
Could we do that? That's my Christmas request.
Okay.
You heard it here. It's April now, so he has quite a few months. He should be able to get this Christmas request in.
For you.
For me.
Yeah. But not for production.
But not for production.
Because
That's
I'm
a whole
already
other
working
story.
on March.
January, March, yeah.
All right, we got a question. If I'm missing a button for an old jacket, is there a possibility of getting one from you guys as a replacement?
Absolutely. Send us an email at info@volante.
Do not call us. We don't answer
Don't call
the phone.
us. We hate it when people call us, actually.
No, it's not that we don't hate. It's not that we hate it. It's
No,
that it's on literally nobody's
I hate it.
job. Yeah, but
It is.
you don't have to.
I put it on Sarah's job description, so somebody would answer the phone.
But it took us 10 years to put it on anybody's job description.
So everyone was
We've
like,
had it the
shit,
entire
it's
time.
ringing again. Someone has to answer it.
Who's gonna lose this game of chicken?
Because 99% of the time it's like, hi,
It's
would
trash.
you like to buy?
Yeah.
Or like, no, thank you. Could you please remove us from your calling list?
99% of the time, it's a robocall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other % of the time, we're like, could you please email us at info@, so we have your size, name, address, and order number, and we don't take that over.
We don't take those things over the phone. Anyway.
Yeah.
The point is.
I've lost the point.
Me too.
Was there a point?
What was
the
the
question? A button. Email us.
We absolutely have the button.
We have the button. Email us at info@volantedesign.us, and we will send you a button and some matching thread.
Yeah.
For the cost of postage or for free.
Yeah. Usually we just put it in an envelope.
But if you live in Uzbekistan, for example, you may have to pay the postage.
Yeah.
You like that?
I love it. It's a perfect example.
It's a long way, man.
Yeah.
Have we got any other questions?
So somebody asked about the Kage pants.
This is too hot.
Multiple people. So somebody asked one if we could show off pants that we're working on. And I forgot to wear. No, I'm wearing them. That was actually an intentional thought.
Oh, you aren't just wearing them because he just wears them almost all the time.
I
now.
do. We got these. This is one of our first samples of the new Kage pants. And as soon as we got them, I was like, those are mine.
Which is a terrible practice in terms of keeping samples and
we
having.
needed to get another pair there was a couple of changes that we needed. So it's like, well, these are not useful for anybody now,
except
for me.
And you, yeah.
Well, and I needed a new pair of Kage
You
pants.
did. You
Thank
needed a
very
new
much.
pair of Kage pants.
So these are, and I was just thinking about this. It's been a long time since we've made pants.
Yeah.
Since 2020 was when the first time we launched pants, and I think we did a second run of the Kage pants a little bit after that. But we haven't done the Secco pants since that initial run.
Because they were more expensive than the Kage, right?
Yeah.
And so then making them was harder for a bunch of reasons. Yeah.
So I'm really excited about making pants again. I was like shoveling dirt for the garden all weekend, thinking about I'm wearing my Secco pants, thinking like these have been demoted to work pants. It is time for new pants.
Although they're still in great shape, your Secco pants.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, the dye's a little faded in certain places, but
they're faded for sure.
Yeah.
But they're still in
there's a
perfect
bunch
condition.
of differences for the Kage, for the new Kage.
The primary difference is the original Kage didn't have a zipper fly. It had no fly at all. It was just, they were pull-on.
Which with people with butts, unlike Mr. David Volante, had a harder time getting them on.
Yeah.
Which is most of the population
Yeah.
has a butt of some sort to speak of.
Not us, not the Volantes.
No, the Volantes. I have one son with a butt and one son who doesn't have a butt. It's an amazing. He's always yanking up his pants. He's just.
Yes.
He's buttless.
Yeah, it may yet come.
I don't think so. I don't think.
But that's the primary difference with these. This material is also different. The original material was a ripstop, which is in the. There's a pair that's on Rare Finds right now. This was a cotton ripstop with a stretch chino for the the khaki, and then the back is a rib knit. So you end up with this nice fitted cuff. The ripstop I felt wasn't as like, it doesn't stretch in any direction at all.
It's unforgiving in every direction, which is part of its benefit. But.
It's one of its benefits, but I thought, especially when with a pair of pants that's supposed to have a bit of sort of drape, we found a nice brushed twill for these, and I think the material is much nicer. They're a little heavier than they were originally.
It's close to a light jean, somewhere in the khaki jean territory.
Yeah, they're super comfortable. I have been wearing them basically constantly for the last month.
I think once you start wearing like drop crotch large pants and you go away from wearing like jeans, it's very hard.
It's hard to go back.
It's hard to go back.
Yeah, I've been doing this. I've been living my ninja pant dreams for years, for 5 years now, and it's great.
Yeah.
I'm never going back.
Got a question. I'm really looking for a son of Sparta. I'm wondering when 39-inch chests go back in stock or not.
For the son of Sparta?
It's not.
It's not on the list right now.
It's not on the production.
Wouldn't hold
calendar.
my breath.
Yeah. The
Sorry.
Nero is coming back. There's a restock coming
In June, so it's still a little ways. But Son of Sparta isn't. We're not. And when we do restock it, we have a little bit of the red fabric left, so we could do a small restock, but it won't be this year.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is a pretty forgiving material.
That's
like
true.
I wear a 39 in just about everything, and a 37 if there is a 37 in stock. A 37 might fit if you're like pretty comfortable in a 39. 37 in the Son of Sparta is pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, it does have a little give.
Yeah, it's got a little give, and it's already it's a coat, so it's a little bit bigger than our like 39 jackets.
Great. If you're just joining us, we are doing Rare Finds and Oddities. That's a thing we do twice a year. We do it for our birthday, which has just happened, and once right after Black Friday, a couple days after Black Friday.
Yeah.
Usually the Monday.
Cyber Monday.
Yeah, that's right. That's what people call it. And
just around 3 days after Black Friday.
just usually the Monday after.
Yeah. So which is convenient that our birthday is approximately 6 months
Yes.
after. So there's it gives us some a good sort of cadence.
And it gives us some time to accrue some interesting new samples and things, because I think the great pull is you get a great deal or you get a really cool rare item that nobody else will have.
Yeah. Once we start getting really comfortable, I was thinking, you were saying Rare Finds, because our production model is changing, we might start not having as much stuff. We'll definitely always have Oddities.
Yeah.
But on the Rare Finds side, we might even have different kinds of Rare Finds. Like once production is going, like those Secco pants, the first sample of Secco pants that we got that are mint green with black accents, because initially a lot of the factories will send us the first sample in like fabric they have on hand, which is left over from somebody else's production run. So we would never order mint green, probably.
I don't know. I think
They
mint
do
green
look
could
pretty
be sweet,
nice.
but yes, it isn't like in
But there
our
might
brand.
be some like
line.
weird color like samples once, but first we have to like have that sampled so that when they send us the second sample, we can be like, these are different fabrics. Like what happened specifically with the Secco pants this time.
Someone asked, will there be more of the Nero and Devil's Fury?
Nope.
Sorry, babes.
That was a special event.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're new to Volante Design, we do limited small batch production. We do 100, 200 units of a product or a design, and then often the fabric is gone, or we would have to restart the process. We sometimes make it again, but it might be in different colors. So when you see something go online or go up, you should kind of know.
Yep.
And this is definitely a learning curve for people. We are not an Amazon or a Walmart where it's just like infinitely going to be there. It's like these are made in small limited batches with highly specialized material that we've chosen that may or may not be there next time if we go back to do it again. If you're in our Discord, you'll see that we had this Battle Tazet launch about 2 weeks ago, and we were able to do a pre-order relatively quickly thereafter and add a little bit to that in different fabrics. We couldn't repeat the fabrics that were existing
We squeezed out a couple
We
more.
squeezed out a few more, but not a full batch. So, and that's an unusual occurrence.
And I think with licensed pieces,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like the Nero, it's like, we'll do the sort of character-specific color, and then occasionally we're able to convince the licensor to let us do something like the Devil's Fury Nero.
Yeah.
But it's sort of just, like that. So the blue will come back.
Right.
But the red maybe not.
We're doing blue and black, I think,
Yeah.
in the next batch, if you're waiting.
We got a few questions. Someone said, I might say this wrong, I love the Hori.
Howry.
Howry.
Yeah.
Will you have any pieces with looser or bigger arm space?
Besides the Kage jacket, which is a Howry with a zipper,
Which
and a
is
hood. Yeah.
heavily influenced by the Howry.
Yeah, I mean, it has a lot of the same cut, so that I think has worked pretty well. I think there are other ones. I think that sort of short sleeve, larger sleeve sort of vibe is something that I want to explore more.
But not today in Rare Finds, if that's what you're asking.
Is there a curvy cut coming up that you're hyped about?
Squints at the calendar. There are some. So we don't have any specifically curvy cut pieces coming up in the next few months. We do have some Unifit products that I'm really excited about doing that are specifically designed to fit. Unifit in our system is a little different than unisex, which is usually just men's.
And even for us, a lot of the time it has been kind of our straight cut, but like in a more forgiving material.
We're
But we've
working to design things much more intentionally in what we're calling Unifit, or what we've always called Unifit, where we'll look flattering and be a great fit on multiple body types. So there are a bunch of launches coming that do that really well, because we have been trying to figure out how to sort of nail that.
Yeah, how to
Much
make.
more.
Yeah, we've been really trying to figure out how to make Unifit not be
Just the men's.
just a straight cut or pretty close to a straight cut. So something even the Genin was on our Rare Finds and already
Yes.
sold, the prototype. There are other things that's kind of an example of like, it's got a very high waistband and the waistband is very wide, so it has a lot of forgiveness in its shape. Do we have it here? I thought we had it here.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah. So like that's the kind of thing. It's like, and also the Kage jacket. Those are both like how I'm starting to approach doing Unifit designs, so that they're much less of our like structured straight cut.
Yeah, just to really like try and expand that.
Yeah.
Someone said, hey Volantes, I'm wondering what you think of Dante and Virgil's new look in Devil May Cry.
I have not watched the series.
I have also not watched the series.
I do like
But I
Dante's
will watch the
jacket.
series. Yeah.
I haven't seen Virgil. I don't know why. I just haven't taken the time to look it up.
It's not like wildly different.
Have you seen it?
I've seen some posters, but not like.
Yeah, I mean, I like Dante's look. It is, it's got a bit of his like DMC4 like cowboy kind of jacket, but with a little bit more of the sort of DMC3/5. I don't know. It's got a little bit of both of those things. The brown is what makes it more like 4. It's good. It's a good design.
Yeah.
We won't be able to make it because it's also because there's complications around Capcom and
licensing
Netflix.
is a nightmare.
But I do like that design.
Cool.
Next question is, are there any future licensed products on the horizon now that Ubisoft has ended?
Yes.
Yes.
We did just launch the Speed Racer license,
Yep.
which was sort of that's the door that opened as the other one closed, and then there are still a couple more new licenses, new IPs coming before the end of this year.
Yes, there are 2 new licenses coming before the end of this year.
And one already locked in for next year.
Right. Yep.
Any chance of an FNJ restock at any point?
No, my friend. No.
So
Sorry.
No. I love that jacket.
It's super complicated. It's really tough to make, and the cost point, we were never able to get it in a place where it made sense.
Yeah. It unfortunately was more complex than we and kind of like the bounty hunter is a similar thing. They are effectively, practically short jackets that are nice looking. But because
But they cost and produce.
because of the level of detail and because of all the seam work and all this stuff, it's more than we would normally do on a different design. And it just makes it so that it's like the practical, like the truth of the thing
Because it's a short coat.
is a short jacket, and
But the price tag
the
should be long
tag
jacket.
should be like long jacket because it's just that level of detail.
Yeah.
Someone asks, will there be a restock of the Nero demonic heritage?
That's the black one. Yes, there will.
Yeah.
And then, do you have any rare finds of the peregrine or eagle hoodies?
Eagle hoodie didn't exist, but I'm sure they.
If it has a hood, some
People think it's a hoodie.
Sometimes hood means hoodie.
Friends, here's what a hoodie is.
A hoodie is
is
made-
a niche material that sometimes has a zipper and has a hood.
She does not intend to sound condescending, but sometimes it comes out that way.
A hoodie, not everything with a hood is a hoodie. That's like if you
But
have a duster
we
coat,
have- we
you
have
can't
a-
be calling that shit a hoodie. It's
We-
a duster coat with a hood.
We have
hoodie,
a challenge because we make jackets with hoods.
and
and
people
hoods have
don't
called-
care about clothes, and they don't care about naming things right, and they just are here to ruin
It's a-
my life.
It's a particularly challenging thing for us because we've had to deal with having to explain this.
People are like, "You want $600 for that hoodie?" And I'm like, "No,
It's
brother,
not a hoodie.
It's not a hoodie."
Just because it has a hood. But the Eagle hoodie or the Kenway,
You call it a hoodie? How could you call it a hoodie?
that as it was described by our viewer, somebody.
Dear sir,
I think, what, do we have any?
we do have a Kenway. We do have a few little, yes.
We have a
there are
Kenway.
few.
We don't have anything from the
Peregrines are
the pre-licensed Ubisoft stuff. The Peregrine those are all gone.
was another lifetime ago.
Those might have gone in like the first rare finds that we ever did.
Yeah.
Anything
think
that was
that's true.
left there, yeah.
We have a follow-up question to the Nero and Devil's Fury, which is, I'm usually a size 51. Do you think I could pull off a 53?
Yeah.
Probably.
It's never,
If you're in the United States, I would say there is no risk in trying.
yeah, we do free exchanges if
Yeah.
you are in the US.
And so that, yes, it's probably, you could probably pull it off. Especially, I mean, it's a Nero. The Nero is a kind of casual cut.
Yeah.
So having it be slightly bigger is not a real problem. Yeah.
Unless you tend to change size and something, then
Yeah.
anyway.
Any more new vest designs planned for this year?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I think 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And then 5.
And someone asked, what is our most common men's size?
43 or 40, I think it's 43. I think that's
Dan,
the top
Dan
of the
knows the
belt.
answer to that question. He's behind the camera, but he runs the numbers. Yeah, it is a pretty clear, like it's just a parabola.
It's a snake that ate an elephant or a hat.
It's
What is it he eats in,
It's a hat or an elephant, a snake that ate.
in the Little Prince? There's a snake that eats something, and he has a. Come on, friends, you know what I'm talking about.
I never read The Little Prince,
Okay, well, in Le Petit Prince, if we're going,
which is what you'd.
which is what it's called, there's a snake that eats and he has to figure out what it is, or he's trying to figure out what it is. Anyway, it's a bell curve.
It's just a straight up bell
Yeah,
curve,
it's a
guys.
bell curve. Yeah,
It's right, and it's right in the middle.
I think, yeah, 43, 45 is
I think
some of
yeah,
our bigger sizes.
yeah.
Someone asked, will the Kage jacket come back with more color options?
Maybe.
Maybe, yes. The answer is maybe. We only just
You don't
restocked
need to
it.
say more than that. If
We-
the answer is maybe, then maybe it is maybe.
That's true. I will not say anything. It's not like we intended to be here for an hour just chatting for no reason. We'll be succinct and we'll answer all your questions very quickly.
Succinctly, and
Someone's looking for elaboration on a standard bell curve.
look,
Which
why
is
not
to
Google
say,
that, my friend.
which is
No.
to say that at
It's
the,
a
at
snake that has eaten an elephant or a hat
or mouse,
if you
or
picture-
anything.
If you picture a standard top,
Standard top hat.
but you grade the curve over the sides, that's what a standard bell curve. Sorry.
If you take your top hat and you
myself
just
dry.
punch it a little bit, and then it's got like a little. No, it looks like a bell. I mean, it looks.
Yes.
Which is to say that on the extreme sizes, the smallest and the largest size, that's usually a very low number, and then it ramps up pretty fast from 39 to 41, and then 43 is the
Kind of
peak,
the most.
and then it just whoom.
Yeah.
It's that shape.
Thank you for that.
Do you want to see? I mean,
Do you want to see a graph?
I feel like maybe they're trolling us because you
I hope
elaborated
so.
on it with the snake thing so hard.
It is hard to tell. Let's see.
I always feel like, let me Google that for you, which is just the rudest answer possible.
I feel like I actually sent you a Google search link recently when you asked me a question.
I don't remember that at all.
Here's a question. I'm just about to hit platinum. Would you do a custom in a kid size? I have a 6-year-old who loves some of my coats.
We would do a custom in a kid's size.
Especially if it's the
However,
apprentice, because we already did that one and we still have that pattern.
I think kids are tough because their bodies don't necessarily all grow in the same way. That's part of like, you know, your kid will look like a beanpole one day and then the next day their arms are like stupid long and then, you know, they broaden out a little bit. It's just, it's tough for us to try and say that you should make a custom coat for however many hundreds of dollars that your kid will wear for a year. But if that's what you want to do, we could talk about it.
I think that's our own personal philosophies. The fact is, if we can do it in that size easily enough, the more complicated the product, the harder it is for us to change all of the pattern pieces so that they fit that size.
Yes.
So that's which just means, I mean, the cost of that might have to be proportionate to the amount of work. But if it's something simple,
That's true. There are definitely products that would be easier than others.
yeah,
Like a hoodie.
yeah, like an Augment H4 Storm, like that kind of thing. Like that should be reasonably easy to adjust the pattern, you know, and shorten because the shortening of the sleeves. There's a lot more sort of adjustment to proportions that need to be done.
I'm still crying over this snake.
Let's see. Someone said, which pieces had to be pried from your wardrobe for this RFO?
So there's always a little bit of prying out of David's closet because he sort of wants to keep everything he's ever sneezed on.
Excuse you.
He's like, he wants to keep every sample he's made, and fair enough, right? But we also need room.
Okay, so it's not only that. It's not only that I want to keep the samples that I've made. It is also that I think from a posterity perspective, like in 100 years, if Volante Designs still
As a
exists.
museum. Yeah, dude, but like.
But I
know, and Nike does this. They have like one of every shoe they've ever made.
Exactly, like from that perspective.
I know.
I'm like, I don't know if we should sell this thing because like maybe we'll be famous, but also like who needs to plan for that crap? And
we
otherwise,
won't be famous by planning on being famous. We'll be famous by continuing to do the things we do well.
yeah. So that's the dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, something like the Genin that just sold, if we do produce that, it is not going to have that magnetic hood closure.
Oh, I love that magnetic hood.
It's very cool.
It's hella unpractical.
But it's not just unpractical. It's like it works. It's effective in the thing. But the manufacturer of that is in Paris, and then we have to get that, and it's like really expensive. And then we have to get that shipped wherever we need it to get shipped. And nobody else makes that magnetic zipper.
Yeah. And it's sweet, just for
And
the
it's
record.
very cool looking, and it
Costs like a mile a.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
costs $1 $1.
It costs a mile $1. Mm-hmm.
It's just, and it's more expensive depending on how close together the magnets are. It's just
And it's more
complicated.
effective the closer together the magnets are. It's like more like a zipper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's really hard to sew, and all the people who sew it are annoyed by it because it sticks to your sewing machine.
Yeah. Because most sewing machines are just made of just straight iron.
Yeah.
Here's an oddball question. I'm a blacksmith, always looking for ideas on what to make next. Do you guys have suggestions on what I should make?
Cool. A rapier?
A hidden blade? something relevant to things that we've done?
Can you make buttons? I would be pretty excited about some custom buttons.
Yeah,
Some
that
like
could be a
sweet
cool thing.
little. hammered out buttons.
I bet even people on our Discord, you know, if you were like, I got a jam for some, you know, hand forged buttons, like people might be interested in that.
Yeah. Heck, we could do a little line with hand forged buttons, except it's really impractical.
It's not gonna happen. But it would be a very cool thing, and I think if you could like, I mean, that sounds kind of, I don't know. I've never forged anything. I don't know what's hard or what's not.
I'm going to imagine that buttons are a pain in the butt.
Yeah, because you need little
you're
pliers.
Gonna be like, and then you're going to have no thumb, and it's just like.
I mean, you use tools to hold the metal because the metal's really hot, but yeah. Your thumb usually doesn't get in there.
You just staple your thumb onto it, and then you're out of luck.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining us, what on earth are we doing here?
Yeah, we can recap.
I mean, it's probably useful for people to know, what is Rare Finds and Oddities?
We are doing our twice annual, or semi-annually.
Biannually.
Biannually is every 2 years. Semi-annually every half a year.
But our paychecks are bi-weekly. They happen every other
2 weeks. So like biannually would be every 2 years.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you.
Semi-weekly would be every half a week, but I don't know when that would take place.
Okay, so biannually is wrong.
This is our semi-annual Rare Finds and Oddities sale.
But I wanted to say two instead of semi is like many sort of.
This is our twice a year. This is our twice a year Rare Finds and Oddities.
I just live to give you a hard time.
What are Rare Finds?
Rare finds are the unique and unusual pieces that maybe are samples that we've made, such as this, which is one of the earliest prototypes of the Victor vest. It closes the other way around. And
I'm not wearing that anymore.
And they're kind of unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that you'll never find again and that we won't produce like that ever again. So you'll get something that's truly one of a kind.
And oddities.
What's an oddity?
Oddities are seconds in the shortest description, which is to say things that don't meet our
unbelievably high and rigorous standards.
Our strict quality control standards. Things that have had a small damage, or maybe they came back, they were a return.
Yep,
because, and it has like a little bit of dirt, schmutz on it that we can't get off without taking it to the cleaners and going through a whole other process. And then making it still, like even just taking it to the cleaners, makes it a different product from the other ones on the rack.
Right.
So if it is different in any way from the rest of the things on the hanger from that production run, it becomes an oddity.
And different could be good. In the case of this thing with the sewn-on patches, this is a 2411, and like we sewed these patches on for a photo shoot. It's a cool thing. If you wanted the patches, you'll be happy. You'll get a discount, and you'll get it with the patches.
We even sell these with
a sew-on patch service.
With a sew-on patch service. So the service has already been completed. That's it. So that's what an oddity is. It's something that is different.
I think our next drop is at noon.
Which is
so
in
stay tuned,
30 minutes.
Which is in 30 minutes. And we will be going live again at 3 o'clock. Any final words before we...
So our last drop is at 4. So we're doing them every 2 hours, right? So noon, and then 2, and then 4.
Someone asked, any chance Middle Earth or similar items in theme/design may make another appearance at some point in the future?
We have a few Lothlorien dresses in this Rare Finds. Is that the answer you were looking for? Probably not.
We don't intend to bring back the Middle Earth license. I wouldn't say no to other fantasy things in the future, or sort of historical semi-fantasy products.
It's not an area where there's a lot of people who do this well, and so in some way we kind of want to leave it to them.
And beyond that, like my personal taste in design has sort of leaned more futuristic. I think when I first started making clothes, it was like I was very inspired by historical fashion.
Yeah.
And so things like even the original Assassin's Creed stuff was all like based on historical fashion, and that was really cool. And like we did a lot of that kind of stuff because I was inspired by that kind of stuff, like the Washington and things like that. And I just personally, my sense of taste and my style has moved more futuristic, which makes it harder, and it's more difficult for me to feel like I've got a good design in a historical sort of fantasy setting.
The Novus collection has always been the sort of like reimagining of 20s-ish style.
That sort of turn of the 19th or the
yeah.
20th century. But it's still futuristic in some
Right.
way.
No, it is sharper, more angular, more something. It's definitely our take.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed doing the Lord of the Rings work. And in some way, it didn't have as much of our take in it.
Mm-hmm.
It felt a little bit more like something. It was lovely. I think it was good work. And in some ways, it was more classical than we perhaps are inherently.
Yep.
If we ever get large enough to need to be more classical then we'll talk about it. But we're not really there.
Yep.
Someone said, I got one of the first round of Doom coats, love the warmth of it and the feel, but it's a bit scratchy around my neck. Is there a trick to wearing a coat like this to avoid itching?
Wear a button-up shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Get a good scarf.
Or a turtleneck even. I mean, a turtleneck could work.
That's true.
Yeah, anything you can do to put a collar, in between you and the other and the Doom collar. That's the best thing I can say.
Yeah.
It is sort of, I think, a pitfall of like wool pea coats.
Wool coats have this challenge. Yes. There's not a hanger for me there. It's all good. I'll hold it.
Someone chimed in and said biannually works for both every 2 years and twice a year.
What?
I love it. It makes sense that it would.
I
Because
don't
it's
know.
like dye, but
I'm not sure I buy it. Was that a Google AI answer?
From someone watching, so.
Yeah, it was. Did you Google it and an AI was like, yeah, maybe, because that's what Google AI seems to be doing right now. It's
Like,
just like,
here's some facts.
here's an answer to your question, maybe.
Let's say a little bit of this and a little bit. Yeah, it's true.
No,
right.
I mean, I believe it. People, maybe it's one of those sort of things that's like the definition changes because of people's understanding of how it should be or what they think it should be.
That's just you saying they're wrong, but they've been so wrong so long that people have given up trying to correct them.
That's it. It's me saying that it's wrong, but enough people have been wrong about it for long enough that it has become the accepted response.
Terrible. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be live again at 3 o'clock. We would love for you to join us for our goof around then.
We're going to save some of our
We have
content for that.
Yeah, we've also got some samples you haven't seen yet, and there's a drop at 12, and at 2, and at 4.
Yeah, so there will be 2 drops in between now and when we do our second.
What?
Noon and 2.
Okay.
You
fine.
said it. You just
I
said
can
it.
count to 2. I can count to 2.
There will be a drop at noon and a drop at 2, so we will have lots more stuff to show off and talk about.
Yes, we will.
And
Thank
we'll
you
see
so much
then.
for joining us. Bye. I'm sure you're still live, just for the record.
Yeah, I know.